Hey guys, Ferrari Dave here. Into DFW's cars and all the car stuff. I also love electronics and figure a lot of you guys do as well. When I was looking to buy small in-ear headphones, I couldn't find a review anywhere of or an in-depth one of the Airpods versus the new Powerbeats 3, which are two headphones that are really popular and in-ear. So wanted to do that now. Starting off with the box. The headphones aren't that big a difference in size, but the box is. This box is very nice. You can see the Apple influence in there, and it feels very premium as well. Let me just start first very quickly by going through the Powerbeats 2 versus 3. The headphones themselves look almost exactly the same. The loop's a little tighter on the Powerbeats 3 is the big change cosmetically. They do have way better battery life though. It's 12 hours on these, so that's gone way up versus the Powerbeats 2, and the sound quality is night and day. But these are more refined, and the bass is more controlled. Also, the case. They both have premium-looking cases, but the Powerbeats 3 case is much smaller. As for the headphones themselves, if you put them in the case, here's also the difference in size. So if portability is your big thing, Airpods are going to win out over the Powerbeats. But the Powerbeats are better in several ways. Let me start with design first. Powerbeats, pretty familiar with. They're pretty ubiquitous if you're ever at the gym. This design, pretty familiar, doesn't warrant talking much about. Stays in your ear really, really well for the design portion. These also will look very familiar because they honestly look exactly like the regular earpods, just, without the cord. They don't sound like the regular earpods though, which I'll discuss in the sound quality, kind of comparison of the two. They sound, like a headphone in this price point should. These are both actually kind of workout headphones, so talking a little bit about how they stay in your ear, they both go in quite easily, and I think they both look really nice. Again, that would probably come down to a style preference, which one you thought's better. This is definitely a little more subtle, for sure, if you don't want people seeing you have the headphone. These stay in your ear quite a bit better. These actually stay in surprisingly well for people where it has a good fit, but if it's purely working out you're looking for, these are slightly better. On to battery life, it's 12 hours versus you can get quite a bit of battery life on these guys, but the issue is the headphones themselves, because they're so small and don't really have a lot of battery, you have to kind of put them back in the case to charge them. So that's kind of nice. You can do that. So if long interrupted battery is your priority, the 12 hours here without having to recharge or do anything like that. As for the microphones, that's an area where the Powerbeats actually come out a little behind the Airpods. The Airpods have dual microphones in each headphone. They're both good on, microphone quality, but, again, this just has a single microphone. It's down here. As for sound quality, they're both actually pretty solid. I thought they're just kind of different. Expect from Beats, much more pronounced bass effect, whereas these have probably a little more clarity. They're both actually, as Beats go, Beats as it's, gone on, has gotten better highs and mids and dialed back the bass. These definitely are part of that, as like the Studio 3s and any of them there. So sound quality is good on both. Probably these have a slight edge overall in clarity. These have a slightly better bass to them. Again, probably because of the size, the drivers in these. Also, as to the controls on the headphones themselves, the Beats ones are pretty easy to use. Should seem familiar. Volume up, volume up, volume down, and then center button to play pause, double tap to go to the next track. I think you can hold down for Siri as well. So pretty easy to use there. These are a little different in that you actually tap on the headphone to do different commands, and you can assign each headphone like a different command as well if you have like an iOS device, which is kind of nifty. And then you can just like tap for back, tap for forward, tap for Siri, things like that. You can't really do the volume on these, so that might affect things one way or the other. And the other thing is, for some people, tapping in the ear is kind of like, it feels a little weird. So, one at $199, you can maybe get it on sale. One at $159, they're pretty close in price. If you're spending that much, $40 probably isn't going to be that big a difference. Really comes down to what your use case is. You do a lot of phone calls and things like that and just want something very subtle. There's a lot of advantages, like we talked about, of the Airpods. Whereas if you just do a lot of working out and running and, just want kind of a more battery life, things like that, the Powerbeats 3 win out there. So I think a lot of it's going to come down to style preference to which headphone people tend to think looks better. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments, and subscribe. I'm going to try to do more tech reviews. I have a DJI Spark review coming up, and I just let me know what electronics you want to see reviewed. If I can get my hands on them, I will.
Until next time, my speedy racers, drive on.